G'day YouTube, Max Wright here, and today we're going to be looking at the long-term history of Bitcoin. See if we can find out, is this the end of the bull cycle? Is there more to come? Is this typical to have this kind of a pullback in the middle of a cycle? And what it means for the next bear cycle, the next crypto winter. I think you're going to absolutely love this content. It's going to give you so much clarity on what to do going in the future for this year, but also what to do in future years. So pay attention to this, okay? Please remember to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button, and let's get into it. So what we're looking at here, these are monthly candles, and we're on the logarithmic chart here. So this is the logarithmic monthly candles. The price goes all the way back to 2010. This is the entire history of Bitcoin. And what these things here I've drawn, I'll zoom up on one so you can see it a little more clearly. This is the Fibonacci extension. And so what you'd get it by putting the cursor on the swing high and dragging it down to the swing low. And then you can just extend it just to see what that means. And then all these lines are important lines in the Fibonacci sequence, okay? So now I've done that 3 times, and I've done that for each of the cycles. So here was the 2011 peak, here was the 2013 peak. I need to double check, make sure I did a good one there. And here is the 2017 peak down to the swing low here. So just before I get into it, I want to make sure I did this really well. Is that where it should be? Yeah, that one's good. That line's a bit sloppy. Can go there. Okay, let's make sure this is tight. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel here, everybody talks about the logarithmic progression, meaning the highs, each high is not as big as the last one. So this was, I think, like 100x, and then I think this might have been, was it a 20x? No, sorry, this one was a 20x. This one was 100x, and then this one was a 1000x, but it came from 0. So it's kind of a bullshit one. But we talked about how the highs are getting lower, and you'll notice this general arc down. This general arc down. And having lived through 2017, there was a lot of crap going on. There was forking of new chains. There was a huge governance issue for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's fees went through the roof. And there was just all the headaches with Bitcoin. And I always felt that the entire bull market in 2017 was actually muted, meaning the high shouldn't have been $20,000. The high should have been $50,000, $100,000. And this concept of this logarithmic regression, where each cycle is getting smaller and smaller in terms of percentage, there's really only 2 data points. There's this one and this one. You can argue there's this one, but this one is kind of a BS one because, again, Bitcoin came from 0. It wasn't a full 4-year cycle. So we really just have these 2 data points, and you can try and match it to there. But I've always thought something was suspicious and something wasn't quite right. Because what I actually think is that the actual growth curve of Bitcoin, there'll be an inflection. It's actually an S curve, so I guess this is probably reversed for you. No, so I was right the first time. It's actually an S curve, and it's coming in. It's going to go vertical until we get to 6 billion users, something like 80-90% penetration of global market of people have it. And that's going to happen very quickly and then come out. So that is the S curve. That is the typical adoption curve. And I always thought the 2017 bull run was stifled. It was muted because of all the headaches that Bitcoin had at that time. And what I'm going to show you now, I think, kind of lends itself to that. So, okay, let's get back into these Fibonacci sequence, and we'll circle back and come back to that. So let's get in here and let's look at this first cycle. And you can see we topped out here at $32, and then we go into this big crypto winter. We come down, we do a big whatever, big U shape, and then finally we break the all-time high a couple of years later. And then what you'll notice is between this price here and from breaking the all-time high all the way up to the peak of that 4-year cycle, there is one consolidation period in here. And it happens on the Fibonacci extension It happens between the 2.6 and the 4.2. Pretty significant things on the Fibonacci sequence, right? These are key levels in the Fibonacci sequence. And so there was this big multi-month, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months consolidating in this period before the blow off top. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, we can see that the following crypto winter comes down to that consolidation period. You see, the bottom of the next cycle coincided with the foundation that Bitcoin lay in the middle of the bull market. It put together an area of consolidation, and then this price came back down to it. Okay, let's take a look at the next 4-year cycle. So Bitcoin peaks, we come down in a U shape, we come back up, we break the all-time high here. And between here and the top, there is there's only one red candle the whole time. By the way, this was true here. In the consolidation zone, that's the only place that the red candles occur between the all-time high and the eventual blow off top, right? Same story here. In the same zone, the 2.6 to the 4.2, that's the only red candle between the all-time high and the eventual blow off top happened in the middle of the signal. What do you know? The next crypto winter occurred here, and it came back down to that consolidation zone. In this time, it came down to the bottom of it. So the previous one, it came down to the 4.2. It was the top of that consolidation zone. This one came back down, this crypto winter came down to the 2.6. It was the bottom of that consolidation zone. All right, fast forward into the current cycle. What have we got here? Here is the previous all-time high of 20,000. Okay, we have this U shape, although we have a little bit of a weird phenomenon in the middle here, so it's less U-y, more W-y, but we get in nonetheless. We come up here, we eventually break the all-time high. And then we start heading up. And we just paste a whole bunch of greens, and then we have now 3 months into a consolidation period between 2.6 fib and 4.2 fib. It's all right here in the same thing. This is the exact same cycle playing out. And then once it's finished consolidating, year 1 it took 4 or 5 months. Second cycle it took like 2 months. Once it's finished that consolidating, once it's finished posting those red candles and there's a breakout, then all of a sudden we post some giant green candles. And I'm going to be clear, this is a logarithmic chart. So this green candle is actually bigger than this green candle. Like this is like whatever, it's $1,000. Like Bitcoin goes up and down $1,000 every day now, pretty much. So these 3 candles are huge, huge. In a month, went from 6,500 to 10,000. Following month, 10,000 to 17,000, no, 14,000, beg your pardon. So these candles are huge, absolutely huge. And what we can see is there's going to be some period of consolidation. And then we're going to have, I believe, some epic breakout. And let's extend this out. I got to keep that right there. And so here is what I think is most likely to happen. We will, let's get the brush. Where's the brush? Brush. A brush. Well, there's going to be some consolidation in here. I don't know. It could be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It could be over. I don't know. And then we're going to leg up for an epic blow off top in December. I don't know if it gets to 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. I don't know. But then we will enter a crypto winter and we will come back down, 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 down. And somewhere, this foundation that it's laying right now, all these months of consolidation right here, this is going to be the foundation for the base of the next crypto winter, right? Which puts us somewhere around this 47,000 up to 75,000. But we spent most of the time in the bottom part of this period, right? So let's call it somewhere in the 40, let's call it 48. Let's get round it to 50. Between 50 and I would say 60. The next crypto winter is going to come back down to 60. ish. That's my prediction. Now, this is going to happen probably in late 22, early to mid 2023. That's going to be the next time. That's going to be the crypto winter. That's going to be the next few years of the bear cycle. Here's why that figure is so important. Couple things. Right now, this price, right now at 46,000, we're probably around the bottom of that. You'll never, ever, ever get to see all the prices below this. We'll probably never, ever get to see Bitcoin at this price ever again. It'll have some epic blow up top. It'll come crashing down to about this level. So this is your last chance to buy Bitcoin with really good confidence, I would argue, that we're going to have a great time. Like you're never, you might go down a little bit. It might go down to 40. It might go down to 30. I don't know. But there's a really good argument to say it's not going to go much lower than this ever again. You're in the sweet spot right here, right? From now on, there's going to be Bitcoin price hitting all kinds of crazy targets, most likely 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, 100,000, 200,000. And the FOMO you're going to have is mind-blowing. Because I've lived through it so many times. The FOMO is incredible. And if you're one of these, if you don't know your personality type, if you are a cautious person and you've been watching Bitcoin for either like the last 6 months or maybe the last several years, and you're like, man, I just want to get in, but I'm not sure, don't be one of those people who waits for so much proof that finally, I can't handle the FOMO anymore, and get in at $100,000, $200,000. If you're here now is the time to get in, all right? Because you can, with a large degree of confidence, you can say you're pretty much going to be in profit your entire ride. It would suck if you want to just buy and hold and forget about it. It sucks if you buy at 100 and then it goes up to 200, fantastic, and then it comes back down in the next crypto winter down to 50,000, and you're like, man, 2 years later this investment's gone zero. I've actually lost money. This sucks. That's just a horrible feeling. And it's all because you were a cautious investor. You needed so much proof. You needed so much validation. You needed so much social proof that, okay, I've missed out on so much of the crypto bull market. I'm now going to FOMO in. That is a horrible, horrible feeling. And it's damn near impossible to sit on the sidelines when it's just going up $10,000 a day. It is damn near impossible to sit on the sidelines if you haven't got any exposure to Bitcoin. Because you feel like the fiat currency system's collapsing, the world is changing forever, I'm getting left behind, my dollars are becoming worth less and less by the minute, and I'm a fool if I don't get in. Damn, I should have got in before, but I have to. And this head game just destroys people. And it's all because it's actually the most cautious people that get wrecked. Because they should be getting in now. They should have been getting in 6 months ago. But it's the most cautious people that get wrecked. And I want you to understand that right now is a phenomenal buying price. I'm not saying it can't go lower. It can. I don't know what's going to happen next week, next month, and I don't even know what's going to happen 2-3 years from now. But I've got a pretty good idea, and the history kind of tells us, is giving us clues. Pardon me. So for those super cautious people out there, I know it's hard to run into a burning building, right? It's like, man, Bitcoin was 60 a month ago. Now it's 46. It's just lost 25%. That's the time to buy. But cautious people, they're like, I know how their head works. I'm a cautious person, by the way. That's how their head works. It took me a long time to train myself out of it. Their head works. Oh man, it's 25% down. This is a change. This is different. I think this signifies people abandoning Bitcoin, and Bitcoin might be worth zero as everyone rushes into altcoin. Maybe altcoin is where it's at. And these are the kind of games that go on in your head. I know it. I live it. They go through my head too. I understand it. And it takes courage and it takes discipline to run into the burning building. Right now we see Bitcoin down 25%. That's actually a little bit more probably, because it did hit 65, didn't it? So it's down probably closer to 30%. And by the way, 30% is traditionally, Bitcoin does 30% dips. Like it does it. It's how it works. It's good. I'm trying to look back here. Look at this dip here. So this is the previous cycle. Bitcoin hit 4,500, dips back down to 2,800. I think you're going to find that's pretty close to about a 30% dip. That's what it dips. That was the opportunity in that cycle. Let me click on order. Let me come back to here. This one, the earlier cycle was a bit more traumatic, so I think it's going to be more. But that dip from the red line down to that next red line, That's a 30% dip. What is it? So let's kind of read the numbers. It goes, there it is, 142 down to $89, right? That's going to be pretty close to your 30%. 70, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more, but about 40%. So that's the size of these dips. But if you've got the courage to run into the burning building at the bottom of those dips, you're going to do well. If you're a long-term buy and hold person, this is a good price to get into. And there's more to this lesson. So now, hopefully what I'm trying to do here is rescue people from the horrible feeling in the future. That's a really funny concept, but that one, having gone through those horrible feelings so often personally, you end up investing to avoid those horrible feelings. See, those horrible feelings are created by, I don't want to lose, I don't want to mess up, I don't want to be this like on my first investment or my second investment, or I'm new to investing, and I just don't want it to be a loss. And so you're super conservative and you wait for so much proof that you get at the end and you get wrecked. Eventually FOMO gets you when you get in at the wrong time. All right. The new way of thinking is right now, there's in the middle of a bull cycle, there's some very logical reasons to do it. The history is repeating. There's some good evidence to say we're going to go up from here. We've just come down, so it's, I'm not buying at the top. But the fact is, I'm scared because the price has come down. What as it keeps going down? Here's the actual question to ask yourself. If the scenario that's most likely to play out, which is the pattern just repeats from the previous years, how horrible and how wretched are you going to feel when Bitcoin's at 100,000, 200,000, 300,000? Invest to avoid that feeling. That's the other way to look at this. Don't FOMO in when it's 200,000. Come in now with it's like, we've just had a big pullback. I believe in this project. I believe in this thing. I understand governments are destroying their currencies. Everyone's printing money. Everything that is scarce is going up in value, being fine art, fine wine, real estate. Everything's going up. This is scarce. It's only 21 million. It's beautiful. It's powerful. It's amazing. It's exactly what the world needs right now. It makes sense, and I don't want to have that feeling then. I can buy now. It's already down 25%. Maybe it goes down 50% and it goes down more. But I think if I buy and hold, and in the long term, it's going to work out. Now is a good time to buy. Buy the dip. Okay. Sorry to belabor that point, but I really want to save people that. I know what they're going to be feeling in 4 months, 5 months, and it's a wretched feeling. And I'm trying to help you out. Sorry for belaboring that point. Now, next point I want to get to. We've got a pretty good idea what the price is going to come down to here. Okay. When the price is going up, now I'm trying to try and help people to take profits at the top. Because when the price is going up $5,000 a day, $10,000 a day, $20,000, man, up there it's going to be going up $10, $20, $30, $40,000 a day. That is how much the price is going to be going up. And there you have another psychological problem. It's like, man, it's just going up right now. It's so quick. It's so every minute you thought about selling, the next minute that it takes you to get to your computer to actually execute it, it's like you made 5 more grand. It's like, well, what if I just wait? What if I just wait? What if I just wait? Like, what if this keeps going? What if the entire system is crumbling and this is about to go parabolic to $1 million a coin, $10 million a coin, and the whole fiat system of the world is going to come crashing down, and the whole world piles into crypto, and I sell? What an idiot! That's the feeling that you have there. And if you look back in history, people have that feeling here, and they ride that thing all the way back down to the bottom. And their Bitcoin goes from $20,000 down to $3,000. How do we avoid that feeling? This is how we avoid that feeling. What a cool thought to know. First of all, you have to understand the capital gains tax rate in whatever country you're in, whatever you're a tax resident, understand that. For easy numbers, let's just say your capital gains tax is like 25%. That'll make it easy for me to calculate. 25%. And you know that when the price is at 100,000, let's say you got in at zero, like you didn't get in here. Let's say you just got in at zero to make the calculations easy. You have to pay capital gains on 100% of what you sell. So let's say you sell at $100,000. You got to pay your capital gains tax. It was 25%, brings you down to $75,000. You can sell your crypto at $100,000, pay your taxes, and go and buy the house, go and buy the Lambo, go and buy the hookers and coke. Go to buy whatever it is you want to buy. Maybe a nice holiday, maybe something a lot more wholesome than hookers and coke. Whatever it is you want to do, knowing full well that you can come back in and buy more Bitcoin than before. Let me say that again. Let's say you've got one Bitcoin, all right? You sell it at $100,000. You pay $25,000 to the government. You've got $75,000. You have a fair idea that the price of Bitcoin is going to get down to something in the order of, well, I guess the top of this, yeah, we said 60,000, didn't we? We said Bitcoin's laying the base between 50,000 and 60,000. So it's coming all the way down to 60,000. Okay, so you sell it at 100,000. You pay 25% to the government. Yeah. And then we've got, sorry, $75,000 left. The next 15,000, you can use it for your lifestyle, knowing full well you can come back in and buy that same Bitcoin that you sold up here. You had one Bitcoin, you can come in and buy that same Bitcoin. You don't lose any Satoshis. You're not going backwards, and you got a nice $15,000 money to play with for lifestyle. And when you get back in, your cost base now is not zero, but your cost base is up here at $50,000 or $60,000. Now that was a little bit of a mood example because I only did $100,000. But if this gets to 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, understand everything up there you can sell, put some money in your, pay your taxes, put some money in your pocket, buy some real estate, compound your wealth in some other way, or do lifestyle, whatever it is you prefer, and you will still be able to get the same amount of Bitcoin that you had before, right? So I hope that gives confidence to people to remember to take profits up here. I'll be telling you when I take profits. I can pretty much guarantee it's not going to be less than $100,000. I'm not taking any profits below $100,000. I might take a little bit at 100, and I might take a little. I'll probably do a little bit at 100, a little bit more at 200, a little bit more at 300. But I think we're going over $300,000 this cycle. That's only a 6x from here. It's not that big a deal. This cycle, from the peak here, it was like 4,500. We hit 20,000. It's something like 18x. No, it's not 18x. Sorry, it's between 5 and 4. So it's like let's call it 4.5x. 4.5x. This cycle down here, this one was, I think, much bigger. The price in this consolidation period, it was 140. Eventually, this capped out at 1,200. That was a 10x from here to here. Right now, we're putting in this consolidation. The top of this consolidation is at 60,000. If we do 10x, that's $600,000. Look, I think we're going to do, it's going to be between $300,000 and $600,000. That's my best guess. And by the way, using some, where are we? Using some other tools and techniques, in a video about 2 years ago, I predicted from way down here, using other kind of measurement tools, I predicted that this cycle, we would get up to similar stuff. We would get up to between $300,000 and $500,000 and crash back down to, and I set it to the penny, $60,000. And I see us here putting in this consolidation with a top at the $60,000 mark. And I'm like, that's 2 points of confluence, working that out. The way I worked it out, by the way, was multiples from peaks and multiples from bottoms and things like that. So that was in a previous video. I think it could even be the home video. So if you go to my page, that is in youtube.com/successcouncil, I think that video is one of the ones where I made that prediction. I think, but I'm not 100% sure. If you can imagine, I make a lot of videos. It's hard to try. I'm not going to go back and find it. So yeah, all right, there's a lot of psychology in this, but I think it's extremely helpful, especially for the noobs, because the emotions you are about to go through in this last blow off top piece of this 4-year cycle, I've been through it, I know it, I can hold your hand, and I'm telling you now, 1, buy Bitcoin now, just buy and hold. 2, as the market is going off, make sure you're watching this channel, hit subscribe if you're not already, and just be making sure you can take profits with confidence. You will most likely be able to buy just as much Bitcoin as you sold or more in about late 2022, 2023. Exciting times. Yeah. All right. There's a lot there, a lot to do with psychology. Oh, I know I want to talk about this thing. Bitcoin dominance. Guys, that's a monthly chart. That's no good. Give me the daily. Okay. So we hit this critical level of support, and it's so far, let me hit order here. So far, we have put in 4 days at this critical level of support. Now, it's not to say it's going to hold, but what I'm looking for it to do, is to rise up a little bit. See what happened here? We came down here and we bounced off this blue trend line, and we went up. We set. It even matched that. It was a higher high. It actually created an inverse head and shoulder, I think. Yep, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, went up, and when it eventually broke the neckline, it went through. But this was significant. I'll make another video tomorrow, I think, about this, because there's so much to talk about here. But altcoins have been on a tear. They've been crushing it. Is this the absolute bottom? I'm not saying that by definition. We have to watch and see what happens. We're just coming down to rest on this line now, which we would have expected. It was a critical level of support for the Bitcoin dominance. If it breaks through, the next target will be 35. Let me just get it on the screen so you can see it. Yep, the next critical level will be 35. But what I want to see is it break off here. And here's why. So now getting into a little bit bigger picture. What I would love, at some point, I think, I don't know if it's going to be here, or lower, but at some point, Bitcoin is going to start accelerating, is going to start gaining on dominance. And when that happens, it doesn't take much to start. But all the people who made a ton of money in altcoins, they're going to start rotating their profits back into a safer thing of Bitcoin. It's like, okay, we rode the altcoin cycle. It's freaking awesome. We all got rich. Jump back into Bitcoin. Exciting. And that money starts flowing in, and it doesn't take much. Once that trend reverses, all of a sudden the money, it's like, okay, I'm starting to think that altcoin season is over, and then eventually it'll break a critical line of trend, and then boom, Bitcoin explodes, leaving alts behind. That's what this period represents here. Okay? So when we're here, this is what we're looking for. If we're going to bounce off here, I think that could be the trigger. And I'll make another video tomorrow because I haven't researched it, so I don't want to bumble around in front of you. But I will bet if we go back, there wasn't altcoins around, so it was hard to tell. I was going to say, if we go back in time, I'm always looking for this, something that's a trigger. If we go back to this chart here, there's something that's a trigger. Is that it? Why is that not it? Oh, because I'm on the daily. Let's go to the monthly. There is something that's a trigger. Remember these consolidation, these mid-bull market consolidations that we get, the ones that are above the all-time high? There's something that triggers the breakout. Could be some piece of news, could be an Elon Musk tweet, could be anything, and it's going to trigger it out. And that kind of pushes the Bitcoin price, and that causes the cascade of the altcoiners rotating back into Bitcoin. Once that starts to go, it feeds on itself, and all these people, they're watching their altcoin profits go down. They're sitting on the sidelines. They're sitting still on the sidelines while Bitcoin's accelerating, and it kind of snowballs and does its thing. So what will the trigger be? The trigger could be this rotation into Bitcoin. If we get a week or two of Bitcoin price going up and altcoin prices doing nothing, that's going to be significant. And I noted yesterday, if you were watching the video, I think it was yesterday or the day before, this is fascinating. Ethereum down more than Bitcoin. This hasn't happened for the last 2 months. For the last 2 months, when Bitcoin pulled back, the altcoins kind of held their ground. All right? Now, all of a sudden, the altcoins are pulling back equally with Bitcoin. And that is extremely telling. Extremely telling. So, yeah. All right, guys, I think that's enough. I've covered a lot here, but it was some really big picture stuff that I hope really gives you confidence to take action, giving you confidence to buy now and giving you confidence to sell and take profits when we're in the parabolic stage. So, guys, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and let me know, did what I say give you confidence? Did it give you confidence to take any action, maybe it went the other direction. Let me know, was this important to you? Because I feel like there's a lot of people who are this message is going to really resonate with, and it might even be something that you're going to resonate with in 3-4 months from now. So let me know in the comments below what you think, and if you like this kind of content, and I'll see you guys soon.